Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a sheath to show you today for this Tops Cockpit Commander. This is going to a law enforcement officer named Joseph. For security reasons, I'm not going to give away his location, obviously, but Joseph reached out to me to see if I could build him something a little lower profile than a sheath that he already has for it. I don't know if that was a factory sheath or another maker's or whatever, but yeah, it was just kind of bulky. So he sent it to me and asked if I could come up with something with adjustable cant, adjustable ride height, and a little bit lower profile. So this is what I have come up with. This is a simple setup with obviously an indexing groove. This is so that you can fully index the groove of your knife. Obviously you can't push all the way through because of the tech lock on the back, but you can get your finger into the ring, and as you draw, complete your grip. So that's basically what I put that there for, so that you can at least start to index, and it's cut out so that your finger can draw through the sheath without having any kind of hang up. So there's that. No rattle, no play. As far as the spacing for the eyelets go, you can see that there are some really odd ones, but that results in a bunch of different angles and ride heights that the tech lock can be compatible with. And I also milled a couple of slots, one on top, one on bottom. That means that as you carry this on your tech lock, what you're going to want to do for the optimal positioning is anchor one of the top corners of your tech lock, so this hole or this hole, to the top corner of the sheath or the bottom corner of the sheath. You're going to want one of these holes to go with one of these holes. Then the slots on the bottom make it possible. So this one on this side makes it possible to pair one of your corner holes with each of the three bottom holes of the tech lock. So obviously giving you different cants and ride heights. And then on the bottom, it allows you to pair with any of the holes in the second row. So top corner with any of the holes in the second row. So that gives you just a lot of different options for how to carry it. And the other eyelets are all compatible with at least one other eyelet as well. So you can definitely find some options there. This is set up to be a left-handed carry. Currently it's in a left-handed vertical position. He is going to be carrying this weak side. Obviously, as a law enforcement officer, he's going to have a firearm on his dominant side, which is his right. So if he ever has to fend off an attack that's, somebody's trying to grab at his gun, he might be able to protect that gun with one hand and deploy a knife with the other and go to town on that guy. So that's what it's basically there for. The draw is a little bit stiff. There's one thing I got to say with this. I didn't put as much tape on the blade as I normally would, so you're going to hear just a little bit of scratching. And it's not so much that the sheath is going to scratch up your knife as it's going to make a little bit of contact with the powder coating. The reason that this was necessary, basically the tape jot, also be careful when you put this back in. It's a little bit of a funky one. Normally you have a wide mouth because it goes up onto the handle, but with this it's only gripping the blade stock. So yeah, the reason why it was necessary to do it that way is because the retention point is right here inside the finger ring, inside that indexing groove. And I had to make sure that that part of the Kydex actually makes contact with the metal. So as you pull through, you can see there's a gap right here, about that wide, maybe 1.5 centimeters, where until the knife comes out a certain degree, there's going to be a little bit of contact right through this section, through that tight point. So that's what you're hearing with the scratching, but it shouldn't really do any damage to the blade. And really this is a last ditch survival tool anyway, so it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna affect you any. It certainly doesn't affect the draw. The one thing, you don't get really a ballistic draw with this. You can kind of, get it to, I don't know, just kind of slide off a little bit. But yeah, I wouldn't call this a ballistic draw or anything. There is a thumb ramp in case you ever want to use that, but for the most part, this is really meant to be a grip it and rip it emergency situation kind of sheath. That's just kind of the nature of it. If you wanted it to be otherwise, I could definitely get retention here on the handle, but then you'd lose the finger ring, which is like 99% of what's awesome about this particular setup. So you have adjustable height, you have adjustable cant, and you have full indexing before you draw. So, all right, Joseph, thank you so much for the order, brother. I hope this gets to you before Christmas. And guys, if you like this knife, let me know what you think of it down below. How does this stack up against some of the other similar options? What about the Colonel Blades fixed blade? What about the clinch pick? What about K-Bar TDI? Some of the more common self-defense / law enforcement oriented knives. I'd love your opinions down below. Personally, this would be pretty high up on my list. Also, what do you think of this design for a sheath with the slots for canting and adjustment of ride height? And yeah, any other comments you have, leave them down below. Guys, if you like this knife, if you like the sheath, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like the channel, subscribe. As always, comment down below, get some conversations going, and be safe. Have a Merry Christmas with your families, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stick around for the next video, and God bless.